As we look forward to a new trading week, we'll be diving into the major forex pair, looking at the dollar, the euro dollar, pound dollar. We'll also be looking at some GBPCHF and also the crude oil market to see if we have any opportunity before us. Before I move further into breaking down technical and the chart, I would like you to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, which is for you to like this video, and also turn up your push notification. I really appreciate it if you can share this video with your friends around you. With that already being said, let's just go right into the video. Starting up with the news events we have for the week, we can clearly see that on Monday we don't really have any high impact news. On Tuesday, we only have Governor Bailey speaking for the pound, and on Wednesday we equally have Governor Bailey still speaking for the pound. That's by 9:30 p.m. West African time. On Thursdays, where we have a little bit of action when the PMI, manufacturing PMI, will be out for both the euro, the pound, and the US dollar. While on Friday, as you can see clearly here, there's nothing really to be worried about. Going to the chart, starting up with the dollar index for this week, what do we have? Now we can clearly see that price has finally pushed into the supply zone that is resting right here. And it is normal for us to expect some sort of push to the downside from this supply zone. And if we go to the daily time frame to have a better view of what price has been doing ever since it tapped into this supply zone, because this is the weekly supply zone we are talking about, you can clearly see that for the first time since September 30th, which was deep down here, you can see this is the first time we are having a bearish close day. So on Friday we closed bearish, and as you can see we closed pretty bearish. We closed with a strong bearish candle. So what would I be expecting going into the new week? I'll be expecting some sort of pullback, because if we should be frank with ourselves, for the past couple of weeks the dollar has been on a huge push to the upside, and it's only normal that price should catch its breath. What I mean by catching its breath is for us to see some sort of pullback coming into the market, which is what I'll be expecting this week. I'll be expecting price to eventually, pull back a little bit, which means this week I'll be paying more attention to what is going on the 4-hourly time frame. Technically, what I'll be looking forward to this new week is for price to take out this level of supply and then create some sort of, let me move this a little bit to the side. So from there we see a push to the downside. From there we can finally see, hopefully we'll see a push to its downside. So what I'm literally talking about is I want to see price take out this low, drop, and then we get a push back. Probably I might be looking at areas like right here to look for short, but the best shots I'll be paying more attention to is for me to see another drop taking out the new low that is going to be created. Then I'll be looking to go short from new level of supply available to us on this one. So technically this week I'll be looking to see if I can join the breather that the dollar would want to go through after a long week of consistent bullishness to the upside. With that said, let's go and check out what the euro dollar is looking like. So on the euro USD for this week, we start off the weekly time frame. You can clearly see that the chart, I talked about this double top formation that was formed over the week, that's past couple of weeks right here. As you can see this is a M pattern, and we believe that after a M pattern it is normal for price to do what, to pull back to the neckline to continue such pattern, that M pattern to the downside. So if you look clearly right here, you see that price has already made its way into this weekly demand that we're expecting price to make its way to, which is right here. So price has tapped into this demand that you can see. We've already shown some signs of rejection of that demand zone, and clearly if you look clearly after this bullish I won't really call it a bullish day because it was not, it was just in between. But this is the first proper bullish close we've had ever since price started dropping, and I'm hoping that off this we can start seeing price pulling back into this neckline to complete the pattern, and then hopefully from here we can see a continuous drop to the downside. Although I'll be paying close attention to this supply zone, because this supply zone is pretty much valid, but what I would really like to see is for this supply zone to be liquidated. So I'm hoping to see price getting into this weekly zone before I go short. But that does not mean I'll be paying attention to this supply zone resting right there. So automatically what I'll be looking at by the time we open is to see price on the 4-hour time frame push a little bit to the upside, come down, take this previous high off, then upon the pullback I'll be looking towards go long for a buy on euro dollar. So for now I'm only going to let the market open, and then I'll see the type of opportunity that the market is willing to present. So moving to the next one, which is our pound dollar. If we look at GBPUSD, clearly on GBPUSD we are still trading around this weekly demand right here. We've not have our weekly body candle close in this zone, but on the daily, on the daily time frame, it's a little bit different story. If we should look at it on the daily time frame, you can clearly see that we finally got our daily close right here. Now this candle close below this previous daily swing low, because this was the low before the move to this upside. So what am I looking at presently? Also, I would just be talking about the pound in according to what I see. If we look very clearly here, you can see we have a supply zone right here, which if we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, we would see it clearly, which is right here. I already marked my zone. So what I'll be looking at is, hopefully if I get an opportunity to go short off the pound from here, I would not hesitate to take such an opportunity. But considering the way the dollar is setting up, I'll be very careful taking this short right here. So it means I'm going to actually let the market open and show some sort of clear direction before I make my decision. So, but if by any chance I get a candle close above this previous level of support or supply, I'm definitely going to be looking for longs. By the time price pull back into any available supply zone, I'll be looking to go long. But for now, I'm just going to stay with the option of looking for shorts, considering the fact that we've not had a candle close above this high. So by the time we do have such, then I can flip my bias to be bullish. So that's what I'm looking at on the pound. But overall on the daily time frame, what I'm looking at, because if you look at, you see we've been dropping for a long time on the pound, so it is okay for us to get some sort of push back to the upside before we see a continuous move to the downside. But above all, I'm just going to be trading what the market makes available to me. So that's what I'm paying attention to. I'm paying attention more to what the market makes available. All right, with that already being said, let's go to the pound chart. On the weekly time frame, there's nothing much going on the pound. As you can see, we are still within this push right here, even though we can clearly see that we are having some sort of liquidation of high here, previous high, and creating a new one. Finally, we can see that price is somehow reacting off that, I'll call it an internal demand zone. Let's drop to the daily time frame so that we can see it clearly. Now I talked about this base, which is also a demand zone. You can see ever since price tapped into it, we have failed to break lower. So it means that demand zone or this base is looking towards still hold on to price. But above all, what I'm paying more attention to is, if you look inside of it, even though it's off, which is as a result of the fact that we are in a range. Let me just drop to the 4-hour time frame so we can see clearly. We are in a range. We've been in the range of this high, and this low. Every of these other price action you are looking at is within this high and this low. So we've been inside of that range for a while now, and finally we were able to break a little bit above it on Friday, but I do not like the way we broke above this previous high, because I told you guys, until we have a close above this high or a close below this low, I'm not willing to get into any form of action on the pound CHF. But we got that last week, but the problem I have with it is, if you look at it, we push and then we rejected to the downside. Basically what I'll be looking at, normally I would still be looking at taking a trade off this demand zone to the upside, considering the fact that we have a slight body close above, which I'm still going to be extremely careful taking that trade. I'm going to be like really careful taking that trade. Really careful taking that trade, and that's why I've not marked my chart for a trade, because I prefer to see the market open and then make my decisions on that. But above all, it would be smart to just wait and see what the market does, because technically the market could just choose to drop down, take out this previous level of demand or support, and then we push and then continue to the downside. So either ways, I would advise us to be very careful trading the pound CHF. Except to see a clear direction, I advise you to stay clear, because we are not clearly, for me, we have not clearly showed any sign that we are done with this range right here. So by the time the week open, we'll know what the market has in store. Lastly on our list is the crude oil. So on crude oil, you could see we had a lot of we closed very bearish for this week. On crude oil, like I said previous week, I said I'm not willing to do anything until I see this high or this low being taken, and luckily we finally taken that low out, which has led us into this demand zone that started the whole push to the upside. So if you look at this MW pattern, you can see that this was where we had our break, and now we had this price coming back in. We rejected, but we failed to continue to the upside, and as a result of the fact that we failed to continue to the upside, we are back here. Now this is what I would like to call everyone's attention is two things can happen here. We have to be very much aware of this supply zone that was created right here. This supply zone, it's very important that we pay attention to it. Let me just mark it out. This supply zone right here, either way you choose to mark it, it's your choice, but this supply zone right here, it will be very important that we pay attention to it. This is the reason why I'm saying so. Now after we had this aggressive impulse to the upside right here, you see price push to the downside, we rejected, but we failed after this huge bullish day. We failed to continue to the upside, which eventually signaled that there is a chance that crude oil is not willing to continue to the upside yet. So, and if you look at this supply has not been mitigated on the daily time frame. This daily supply has not been mitigated, so it is very easy for price to give us an opportunity to buy on the lower time frame off this demand zone, and by the time we get here we fail to break above this. So it means that this could be a point where we could look to go short from. We can look to go short if the opportunity arises. So on crude oil, it's very important that you have your mind open, because just like I said, we can get a lower time frame opportunity to buy, but we have to be very open-minded about this supply zone, because a very clear example of what I would like to show us is right here. Now if you look at right here, you can see price push to the upside, and what happened next? We would have believed that this right here would have been our shift on the daily time frame right here. Would have looked at this as our shift, but look at what price did. When price was going down, price created a supply zone right here, and then price drop, came back to that supply zone, and as you can see clearly here, ever since, what did we do next? We dropped heavily to the downside. So it is very important that we eventually, pay attention to this supply zone right here, in case price was just going to create an opportunity to buy in and then continue to the deeper downside. So basically, a summary of all what I've broken down before. On the dollar, I would be looking at we eventually seeing the dollar drop for a temporary breather before we continue to the upside. On the euro, I will also be looking at same. I'll be looking at the euro to start pushing to the upside, because I've been looking to buy the euro ever since we've been dropping heavily. While on the pound, I'll be looking to just let the market show me what to do, even though our long-time target is this phase or this demand, and over obviously the extreme demand line right here. But I'll just be paying attention to the 4-hourly this week. I'll be on the 4-hourly a lot this week to see what the market is going to give us. So for now, on the pound dollar, still bearish until otherwise proven. While on CHF, I'm just going to wait for the market to open and show me some sort of direction. While on crude oil, I'm looking to buy off this daily zone right here. So if I get an opportunity to buy, I'm going to take it, but I'm also going to be paying attention to this daily supply zone, in case price is just going to get in there, give an opportunity to sell and continue to the downside. So basically, this is what I'll be looking out for this week. I wish you guys a great trading week. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and turn up your push notification. If you have any question, please do also drop it in the comment section. I'll be available to attend to those questions myself. With that being said, I wish you guys a wonderful week ahead. Peace.